Powered by Penguin. The Scrivener's Tale. Written by Fiona McIntosh. Narrated by Ben Chapple.
We at Penguin Random House Australia
acknowledge that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples
are the traditional custodians
and the first storytellers of the lands on which we live and work.
We honour Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples' continuous connection to country,
waters, skies
and communities.
We celebrate Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander stories,
traditions and living cultures.
And we pay our respects to elders past and present.
For Stephanie Smith, the fairy godmother of Australia's speculative fiction scene. Prologue. He stirred, his consciousness fully engaged, although he was unable to recall the last occasion anything had captivated his interest. How long had he waited in this numb acceptance that a shapeless, pointless eternity stretched ahead, with boredom his only companion? He was inconsequential, a nothingness, existing, but not in a way that had worth or even acknowledgement, suspended between now and infinity. That was his punishment. Syracuse laughed, without mirth or sound. He was in this limbo because the goddess Liana and her minions had been victorious several centuries previous, crushing the god Zarab. It had been the most intense confrontation that he could recall of all their cyclical battles, and Zarab's followers, himself included, had been banished from the spiritual plane to wander aimlessly. He was a demon, not as powerful as his god, Zarab, but not as weak as most of the disciples, and certainly more cunning, which is probably why he'd evaded being hunted down and destroyed. He and one other, a mere disciple, had survived Liana's wrath. Syracuse remained an outlaw, a life but not a life, no longer able to move in the plane of gods, and never able to return to it, but he'd never given up hope. One day, he promised himself, he would learn a way to harness the power he needed, but not yet. He was not nearly strong enough, and must content himself to exist without substance, on the edge of worlds, and only his fury to keep him company. But it was ill fate that he had recognized a fantastically powerful force emanating from the mortal plane. That force, he learned, was called the Wild. It sprawled to the northeast.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?